All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Weezy's Weekend Wind-Up. Thank y'all for coming out. Starting out with the goddamn shout-outs up in here. You know what I'm saying? Let's give a shout-out to the lovely Miss T, Kitty Cat, Sunflower Empress, Marion G of G's, Weeping Willows, and I've got some lightning in the background, so that's what's up, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on in the background. All right, DJ Mossy, Miss Heaven Sent, Roscoe Coltrane, Secret Squirrel. Thank you guys for coming out. All right, we got some news to cover up. If you want to call in later on, StreamYard link is in the, if you're in the live chat, it is pinned to the very top. Anyone can call in. We don't need one person. You could, if you want to jump in and have a menage a trois, so to speak, we can do that as well. So don't be shy. Don't be scared. Everything will be good in the neighborhood. We will be taking that second episode over to Odysee. So if you are catching this on Spotify or Podcast Addict, whatever your podcast player of your choice, after this section, you'll hear a little music, and then we will do a round of calls, should there be callers. So that's how these weekend wind-ups commence. So to start it off, to get it kicked off, we will be living La Vida Loca. Ricky Martin made the news this week, and interesting tidbits, to say the least. All right, let me pull up the article here. Yeah, it's freaking thundering, goddammit, over here. So if you guys hear the lightning, it's not a sound effect. That's what's going on, and hopefully my internet doesn't get fried. What's up, Demelza? What's going on? Welcome to the stream, y'all. What's up, Ms. Lemons? Who else? Did I miss anyone? I hope I didn't miss anyone. I think that's everyone. All right. To the... All right. Here we go with our article here. So, Ricky Martin returns to the stage after nephew accuser drops a case. This article is by Liz Cavario, and I ripped it off of Yahoo News. Ricky Martin returned to the stage Friday night after a headline-making week. The singer delivered an emotional show at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles on Friday, a day after his nephew dropped his case for a restraining order against the pop singer. So if you haven't been paying attention, Mr. Martin allegedly was living La Vida Loca. I'm on YouTube, so I better stop there. But making his debut at the iconic venue, Martin was accompanied by the Los Angeles Philharmonic and conductor Gustavo Dudamel. Martin took to the stage in a black silky set and opened with his 2005 song Till I Get You from his album Life. He then followed up with his hits La Bomba and Living La Vida Loca. Calling the warm Los Angeles night beautiful, Martin paused his set to address the crowd. He smiled wide and pumped his hands, cheering, "Yes, bro, yes," as his fans cheered him on. He didn't say bro, I just added that for flavor. "All I want is for you to forget all your issues tonight," he said. "Just focus on love," which he apparently did and allegedly did, "and light, and let's just have a good time," which he allegedly did. On Thursday, during a hearing in Puerto Rico, a judge ruled against extending a temporary order of protection against the singer. After the case was withdrawn, Martin appeared remotely as he resides in LA. NBC News confirmed that the person who filed the restraining order was the son of Martin's half-sister. The nephew also alleged that he and Martin had a sexual and romantic relationship that lasted for 7 months, according to a court document obtained by Telemundo and shared with NBC News. The Grammy winner denied all allegations against him. So this article is more on the side of the accuser. So this is another article written by Haven Orecchio Igrisitz. I think that's how you say the name. Puerto Rico police say Ricky Martin's nephew got death threats not to appear at the singer's restraining order hearing. This is a lesser known side to the story. So we all heard the charges getting dropped and whatnot, but very few outlets are talking about the death threats as to being the reason as to why they were dropped. Puerto Rico police say that Ricky Martin's nephew received death threats ahead of the singer's court hearing on a restraining order. Martin's nephew filed a complaint with police after he received 2 intimidating phone calls on Tuesday night, according to Puerto Rican newspaper El Nuevo Dia. According to the complaint, the alleged victim told police he answered a phone call from a Canadian area code at 9:05 p.m. and heard a man's voice saying, "If you speak at the hearing, we'll kill you." 1 minute later, he received another phone call from a New York number in which a man named the street where he lives, the complaint says. Martin's lawyers did not immediately respond to insiders' request for comment on the recent death threats. Martin was issued the stay-away order earlier this month after a petitioner told the court he had stalked him after the sexual relationship ended. Martin's attorney, Marty Singer, has said that the accuser is Martin's 21-year-old nephew and denied that they were ever in a sexual relationship. All right, so there's that. To our next story. Many of you had probably seen Many of you have probably seen those articles, so there's a little bit of both sides. Who is telling the truth? Who knows? What is Truth Podcast on your favorite podcast player? Like and subscribe, goddammit. All right, to our next story, we have all right. You guys have probably seen. You guys hear that lightning in the background? It's coming down. What's up, That Says Trail? Welcome to the goddamn stream. So earlier in the week, AOC, aka Alejandra Ocasio-Cortez, was protesting the abortion stuff and was arrested, but she was arrested and not put in handcuffs. And, you know, that you can be arrested and not put in handcuffs. If you're considered not to be a threat or someone that's going to escape, someone as well-known a figure as AOC clearly fits that protocol. So she was escorted away and threw on a show. Let's play that clip for you right now where she's acting like she's being arrested. Get the fuck out of here. Got her hands behind her, but then she raises like, yeah, you know, hardcore. Silly shit, no doubt, by AOC, but sillier still was another ex-politician, or maybe he's still a politician, I'm not 100% sure, that apparently did a weird flex on that. And this guy, Mr. Rod Blagojevich, I believe is his name. Yeah, he put this on his Twitter. AOC pretends to be handcuffed. At least when I got arrested for real. Get the fuck out of here. And he puts his fucking mugshot on. You would think this was like some kind of a, you know, a troll account making fun of the situation, but it's from his own account, and I don't know. It's pretty fucking hilarious. But yeah, a weird flex nonetheless, and I found it funny. Maybe you guys do too. All right, to our next article. This one is kind of upsetting in many ways. All right, this is on Yahoo News. Article is written by Trudy Ring. Trans woman now in men's prison after impregnating 2 by consensual relations. I screwed that up, but it sounds good, so we'll just keep it at that. Notice how it says in men's prison. Just keep that note in mind. All right, so there is the transgender inmate that impregnated 2 females. A transgender woman, quote unquote, inmate in New Jersey has been transferred to a men's prison after impregnating 2 women at the state's only women's correctional institution, and she was placed on suicide watch at one point. Demi Minor, 27, had been housed at the Edna Mahan, I don't know, correctional facility for women, New Jersey Advanced Media reports. The media company had reported in April that 2 women at the prison had become pregnant through consensual relationships with a trans prisoner, later identified as minor. The state prohibits even consensual relationships among prisoners. She has now been transferred to a vulnerable inmates unit at Garden State Youth Correctional Facility, which houses young adults. So kids. They're saying, the headline said into a men's prison, but it's clear it's a youth facility. So I don't know how people twist shit around, but that's the day and age we live in. The state had agreed. Let's see. Minor is serving a 30-year sentence for manslaughter. The state had agreed to house most trans prisoners according to the gender identity and to provide gender affirming care under a settlement. More ridiculousness. It reached in June 2021 with a trans woman who sued. This woman had said she was harassed and assaulted by both staff and fellow inmates when housed with male prisoners. The settlement required the state to keep the policy in place for at least a year. That year is up, but the New Jersey Department of Corrections is continuing to operate under the policy, although it plans to make minor modifications, a spokesperson told New Jersey Advanced Media. It's unclear if Minor was on hormone therapy, which likely would have prevented her from being able to impregnate anyone. A pinned tweet on her Twitter's feed mentions treatment being delayed by the COVID-19 pandemic, but it is 2 years old. On April, a post by the administrators of the Justice for Demi website notes that she was surprise transferred to Edna Mahan in 2020 while earnestly requesting hormones and gender-affirming items, things supply chains didn't exist for in a men's prison. After the pregnancies came to light, Minor and the 2 other women were placed in some form of solitary confinement, and Minor was told she was a security threat and given notice that she would be transferred to, the post states. This could mean loss of her access to hormones, gender-affirming items, gender-appropriate housing, and surgery. The site continues. To be clear, Edna Mahan has housed pregnant inmates before. Edna Mahan has had inmates caught in romantic relationships before. None of this has ever constituted a security threat. In a letter posted on the site in June, Minor wrote that she hanged herself in the van that was transporting her from Edna Mahan to Garden State, and she was placed on suicide watch where she arrived at the latter. She has also said she was beaten during the transfer, and so pity patty, blah, blah, blah. So more craziness. If you want to read the article, go ahead. I'm already bored. But more craziness. We are told that people that identify whatever gender they choose are that gender, and yet they can impregnate women and then get transferred to youth facilities after that. More madness, more crazy, more ridiculousness. And I want to just give a quick little update on the Uvalde. I've been covering that case, and if you want to go back and listen to previous episodes, make sure you follow me on Odysee. If you only follow me on YouTube, you are missing on a host of content and videos. I've covered many things, some of which are not deemed friendly by this particular platform. So if you want the whole gamut, definitely follow me on Odysee. Link will be in the live chat by my awesome exquisite mods. And follow me there. And that's where we're going to take the Collins section. And also follow me on your favorite podcast player, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and Podcast Addict would be the place in case anything happens in any of these other locations. That is a free speech platform, 100%. But yeah, so I don't want to get into too much of the Uvalde thing because I've done tons of coverage on it. Not tons, but much more coverage on it. But Uvalde was where a school shooting took place back in May 24th, I believe, where the police stood down. And since, the story that came out and the story since have shown incompetence, whether willing or unwilling, who knows. Cops taking selfies in the hallways instead of breaking in while kids are bleeding out. Just disgusting all around behavior by this police force, and it's been covered up, for lack of a better word. They refuse to show the CCTV footage and all this other, the body cams and all this stuff, and the stuff that has been leaked out and shown has just angered people like myself who have been wanting transparency, and the cover-up still continues. Uvalde School Board postpones meeting to discuss firing police chief Pete Arredondo. The school district canceled the meeting at the request of Arredondo's lawyer. A new date has not been set. This article is by Brian Lopez at the Texas Tribune website. All right. Uvalde school officials have postponed a scheduled Saturday meeting to decide whether to fire police chief Pete Arredondo at the superintendent's recommendation. Arredondo remains on unpaid administrative leave. Blame for the fiercely criticized response to the massacre, during which law enforcement waited more than an hour to confront the shooter, has largely fallen on Arredondo, who leads the 6-member school district police department. The district placed him on administrative leave roughly 1 month after the shooting. So this guy is the one getting the brunt of the blame, and rightfully so. He claims he didn't come with his gear. He forgot his radio because it was in the way. He gave the stand down orders. I mean, just a shit show. And this guy had training in active shooter situations. And there's also talk of destroying the school and building a new one. Just a bunch of ridiculousness that just makes your blood boil. It's pretty disgusting how this whole situation has unfolded and been handled. So there's that. And then we will move on to our last but not least article, supplied by the lovely Missy T. Thank you for this. This is breaking wind news right here, y'all. All right. Dad who hasn't stopped farting since he ate a ham roll in 2017 sues for 200,000 pounds. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A father who says he has been plagued with wind since he ate a ham sandwich 5 years ago is now taking legal action. Tyrone Prades, 46, claims that since he ate the roll at a Christmas market in 2017, his life has never been the same, and he now suffers with flatulence so badly that it wakes him up at night. Mr. Prades from Wiltshire is suing the company who operated the stall for over £200,000. He says that hours after eating the sandwich and the event in Birmingham, he felt unwell with a tummy ache. Sounds like someone I knows. This led to such a severe illness, including fever and diarrhea, that he was laid up in bed for 5 weeks, his lawyers told the High Court. Flooring company boss Mr. Prades believes he contracted salmonella from the stall and claims others who ate there were also infected. His lawyer, Robert Parkin, said the claimant continues to suffer from excessive flatulence, which causes him a great deal of embarrassment. The symptoms are primarily fatigue and altered bowel function associated with churning within his abdomen and flatulence. The claimant's stomach continues to make frequent churning noises to the extent his sleep can become disrupted. The extent of the symptoms has been life-changing. He said that there was a Public Health England investigation leading to the stall being closed and deep cleaned. A total of 16 people in 3 groups complained of similar symptoms after eating at the stall, he says. He said the 2 cases of salmonellosis were confirmed as originating at the stall between 9 and 11 December 2017. Mr. Prades alleges the company was negligent in supplying a contaminated BAP, having failed to have sufficient hygiene measures in place. It is plain that a foodstuff which is contaminated by the manner the BAP was not one which was suitable for human consumption, he says. Environmental health operators found E. coli on a knife at the stall, but no evidence of salmonella. But operator Frankfurt Christmas Market denies blame, which its barrister Philip Davy saying Mr. Prades had claimed to suffer from E. coli. The allegation the BAP was contaminated with salmonella bacteria is not admitted and must be proved, Mr. Davy said. The company is also disputing the size of the claim. The case is now set to go to trial for a later date. We will be reporting on the story. All right, so that is the end of our stories. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys want to call in, let's see, do we have anyone on the StreamYard? You guys want to call in, hit that StreamYard link, and we will be back on Odysee. So if you are new to how we do these things, make sure you hit the Odysee link, follow us there, and the show will continue. We'll take calls. It doesn't have to be one call. We could have a good old time with many callers and discuss these stories or anything else on your minds. It is 25 after the hour now, so we will meet. Let's do 45 after the hour, so in about 20 minutes. And try not to get into any salmonella BAPs, and don't want any people farting on stream. You know, it would be vivacious, but not a good look. So, all right, y'all. Catch you guys in 20 minutes. Thank you guys for coming on out.